Now, Nonye Ayeni herself, the Executive Director and CEO, Nigeria Exports Promotion Council, joins us in the studio for more discussion on this development. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I guess congratulations are in order. Historic figures we are seeing. And in that report, you highlighted some of the factors responsible to include expanding market destinations.
Yeah.
I imagine you're going to add reforms of the administration to that list. So let me just ask you what is not so obvious. A question is, how much of this $6.1 billion really translates to tangible benefits for the local businesses, the farmers, and the exporters on ground? Because it's one thing to have figures, another thing to say it translates to what's on ground.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. We, like you said, $6.1 billion US dollars.
Yeah.
Out of that, about 50% is value addition.
Okay.
There's an increase over and above what we had in 2024. For value added product in 2024, it was about 48%. Now it's grown to 50%. So what it means is that we are gradually moving towards value addition. And when you're talking about value addition, you're looking at job creation, industrialization. So more people are getting involved in the export value chain. But beyond that, at NEPC, we are working with the exporters, especially the MSMEs. We're getting them in clusters, and we're teaching them, opening their eyes and their mindset towards value addition. And you need to see some of the products of some of these SMEs. You have tea, you have spices, you have cosmetics. And that is job creation and is impacting the grassroots. Remember that Nigerian Export Promotion Council is in all the 36 states of the Federation. So we are at the grassroots level. So it translates from grassroots up to the center.
Well, no doubt. I mean, this is definitely a boost for Nigeria's diversification drive. But there is the concern that, to a very large extent, most of these goods, non-oil exports that we talk about, are primary goods, and they're not necessarily finished, processed goods. What's the plan in that direction? Because $6.1 billion, if Nigeria can make that out of primary goods, imagine what Nigeria can achieve, from processing, from manufacturing finished products and exporting them. Good.
Most of those products, at least 50% are value added. If you look at cocoa is #1 export, non-oil export for 2025. But you have the cocoa liquor, cocoa butter, cocoa paste. All of those are exported, and most of them went to Netherlands. Then you also look at soya meal. There's also value added in that. Then you also have the gold door, the aluminum ingot. Aluminum ingot, is manufactured. Aluminum ingot is the 4th or the 5th non-oil export. You have copper ingot. So there's been a lot of value addition. We are growing a bit gradually from 48% to 50.4%. Gradually we're moving, and the most important thing is that people are opening their minds to the importance of value addition, because when you add value, you get more, you get premium price in the global market, and they're seeing the benefit, and everyone is working towards that.
On the issue of cocoa, I actually thought you were going to mention chocolate.
Yeah,
because the market for that is huge. It's humongous, and no doubt. I mean, Nigeria has comparative advantage when it comes to that. But is there a projection in terms of timelines where Nigeria wants to be in terms of finished products exports?
I may not give you a particular figure. Yeah, there is a particular. In fact, the new policy banning shea nut is also part of that process. And the reason that is done is to ensure, to improve, to increase value addition and increase industrialization and protect the local industry and create jobs. So it's a gradual process. You have the shea nut ban. You also have, even the exporters also know that if you export, say, sesame raw, you get just a meager amount. But by the time you add value, you get more. So indirectly or directly, they are beginning to see the value. So it's a gradual process. It can't happen one day. But the good thing is that we are increasing year on year in terms of volume of value-added products. We are increasing as a nation.
Indeed, interesting. Last quarter of 2025, we saw legislation still awaiting the assent of the president on 30% value addition basically banning, about 30% of our raw materials being exported because the government says we will get more and create more jobs if we have value addition. So that's fantastic. But let me ask you, when you say expanding markets, contributed to those numbers, what markets did we find attractive this time around? Where did we go differently? And we're not the only African country pushing for non-oil exports. Yeah. How competitive really are our goods in the global space? Okay,
we are creative, like we exported to 120 countries. We also exported to 11 ECOWAS countries. And despite the fact that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger went off, we exported
from ECOWAS.
Yeah, ECOWAS, sorry. Then we also exported to additional 25 countries, bringing it to 36 countries in Africa. And it's not just expanding the market, we're deepening the market. So if you look at, and then if you look at Europe, that's Netherlands. The increase of our export to Netherlands this year was 32%. The increase in our export to Brazil was almost 17%. So you can see that it's not just about expanding the scope, we're deepening most of those, we're deepening the export volume in those countries. And we cross across Asia, America, Africa, and AFCFTA, African countries.
I mean, interesting. Well, let's talk about the quality, just to, expand on that point raised by Adiswa. The quality of our products, to a very large extent, they're not, they don't seem to meet global standards. Whether you're talking about the Netherlands, you're talking about the UK, the US, what is being done to ensure that these products, especially the agro, exports, meet international standards?
A whole lot.
Great.
A whole lot has been happening. First of all, in Nigerian Export Promotion Council in 2025, we had 729 Dixon programs leveraging on our 36 state operating offices, and we impacted over 96,000 people. So what are we doing? We're sensitizing the MSMEs, the SMEs, the exporters on the need to keep to quality and standard. So we did that across. And some of those programs are good agricultural practices, good warehousing practices. Then again, in 2025, Nigerian Export Promotion Council 100% paid for international certification for 210 exporters, bringing it to a total of 700 on halal, on HACCP, on ISO 22, and FDA. We bankrolled it 100%. Why are we doing that? We're trying to make sure that they keep to standard and quality for them to be able to enter some niche markets.
Great. All right, we have to say thank you very much for joining us, and well done. And I hope this momentum can truly be sustained. Nonye Ayeni is CEO, Executive Director, Nigeria Export Promotion Council, joining us tonight on Newsnight.
Thank you. I hope you'll be exporting that outfit to my wardrobe.
I can say that again.